Hello, I'm Tony. We are in Chelyabinsk, Russia at Zoloterra Language School. Today I was going to speak to you about sounds, some of the human body, some other sounds, but I haven't prepared that lesson fully. So hopefully that will be the next time. But if you are going to look at that one, something which maybe you can see if you can find the word for that lesson. Sometimes a word can sound like the sound that it makes, if that makes sense. The actual word sounds like the sound, and we have a grammatical word which describes this situation. For that next lesson, hopefully that will be the next lesson, see if you can find out what that word is. But for this one, often we talk about rules in the language. But one of the interesting things about English is perhaps there are no rules, because there seems to be rules and then we always have irregularities where there are differences. So I just want to speak today about a few different, quickly speak about a few different grammatical subjects, quite brief each one, and mention an irregularity, something which is not normal to the particular rule. Perhaps the most frequently referred to one is verbs. We have a lot of regular verbs whereby to make the past simple, we simply add ed. For example, work becomes worked, and if we are making the past participle for what a lot of students refer to as the third form, it's for regular verbs is the same. The past participle for regular verbs is ed. But we have many irregular verbs where there are simply no rules whatsoever. I just wanted to mention that one because that's probably the first one which we all think of. But I want to briefly mention 3 or 4 other ones where I can give you some examples of things which are irregular. So first of all, when we add letters to another word, we call them prefixes. And we have several different prefixes. Some of them have different meanings, and several of them make the prefix make the word, a negative. I'll give you some examples. Okay, acceptable. We have the negative un. Insecure. Impossible. Illogical. Irregular. Ir. Disloyal. Negative prefixes, and we have a lot of other ones. But what about the word valuable? Valuable jewellery, jewellery worth a lot of money. So does invaluable mean jewellery or any other item which we are talking about which is not worth a lot of money? No, it means very, very similar to valuable in that the price is very high. The value that we put to something is high. So this is an example of in, but it doesn't have the same meaning as this, which means negative. If we are secure, we have an arrangement or a position where we are safe. Negative, insecure, this is not a negative adjective. It's completely different. So that's one example. We have adjectives, and we have quite a few common adjectives where we have ed and ing forms. The rules for these, there are rules. The ed adjective is how we feel. So they are normally describing people. ing forms are the reason, the cause of how we feel. So for example, I am bored. The film was boring. I was interested. The book was interesting. But not all adjectives have both forms. I might be stressed, but my job, it's not, but if a job was, the adjective is stressful. So they're not always the same. This brings me to another part. Is here okay? Good, just checking. Letters at the end are suffixes. And often the suffix ful means with. The opposite is less, meaning without. So an example, I drive carefully, means I drive with care. I drive carelessly, I drive badly, without care. But let's look at two words. Let's smooth them up. Get rid of these. Which have a connection, in fact, to invaluable. Priceless. So it has this suffix. Means something where the price, the value of the price we attach to something is so high, we would never sell it. For example, I will never sell you my Ferrari. The value is so high. So it's this. Worthless. Something is useless, has no value at all. So these suffixes, less and less, normally the suffix less means without. Without value, no value is high enough. So again, they are showing the difference. And priceless. Priceless has a similar meaning to the word we had before of invaluable. So that's why I had the connection. And lastly, adverbs describe how we do things, and many adverbs are formed by adding ly to the adjective. So, adjective, a slow driver. He drives slowly. Adjective, if it was in an adjective sentence, slowly, adverb. But not all adverbs, and in ly we have some irregular ones. A fast car, adjective, he drives fast, no change of word. A good student, he studies well. So fast, adjective, good, adverb, well. A hard worker, he works hard. Sometimes the word can remain the same. And lastly, Adverbs are often formed by adding ly, but be careful. Some ly ending words might not be an adverb. Friendly is an adjective. So it's just to show you that there are rules and norms which we often attach to parts of the language, but there are always irregularities. It makes it interesting. You have to be careful and use your brain all the time to spot. But once you know them, you can just use them naturally. Thank you. Hopefully the next one will be on sounds.